What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new opposition preview video. Today I'm joined by Lewis from the Toffee Blues channel. Lewis, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. To be fair, that was a very stupid question to ask because you won 2-2. I mean, you should be on fire right now. You got James Rodriguez controlling the game. You got Dominic Calvert-Lewin scoring goals. I mean, it doesn't get any better for Everton, does it?
No, you know what? At the minute, it really doesn't. So, obviously, like you say, 2-2, but we've also won both cup games. We've scored and creating a load of chances. So, the Spurs game, we haven't won away at Tottenham since I think 2009. We haven't beat Tottenham in the league at all since 2012. We haven't beat a top six away since 2013. So, that raised the expectation imminently. Then we played West Brom. We had a little bit of a scare, but we've seen the individual qualities for Richarlison, James. And then we had the routine victories against Salford and Fleetwood. So, yeah, been a fantastic start.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with Everton in the past has been that you've got quality players. However, them players didn't translate into the expectations that you had, maybe, where you had Sigurdsson, he didn't really work out. Yannick Bolasie, he went there from Palace, but he got injuries. But for this season, what are your expectations? And also, are you feeling more confident than you were feeling, for example, last couple of seasons when you've got all these quality players but it didn't work out?
Yeah, my expectation, to be honest, my expectation to the season, I done my predictions prior to us signing three fantastic footballers. So I had us ninth, but haven't seen very early days so far, and a bit of biasness will come into it. I've seen City and Liverpool will be streaks ahead of everyone else. I think Chelsea will be up there, but Tottenham have blew hot and cold in their opening two games. As Leicester have been good, Wolves have been decent and not enough. They were good against Sheffield, but City are a great side, obviously. So I'd like to think we can push on that top five, but I'd like to say six. And like you say, the expectation has risen because of these players. So fingers crossed we can keep the momentum going, keep it building. And like you say, as a fan, I normally go all the home and away games, so not going is absolutely killing me. Watching us on television is, I've not missed a game for 4 years home and away, so watching us on telly really, if it at the ground, I don't know, because if you're about to concede, you know you're about to concede. When you're watching it on the telly, you haven't got a bigger picture. So the expectation level has raised, which has made watching us a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only you; it's everyone. It's just the fact that you see it with the players as well. I mean, some of these players when they score goals now, they don't even celebrate. It's like it's a training ground game. It's so weird to watch these players play at times. And I feel like before you saw the messages, you heard the message of players saying we love the fans, we appreciate the atmosphere. But I feel like now they really realize what the fans mean because they've never been in this position before. So when we come back, I expect the atmosphere at all grounds to be improved. But with your expectation thing, do you think that this season, let's say that you don't achieve the top seven, I personally think that you guys should achieve top seven with the squad that you got. Let's say you don't achieve it. Do you think there will be like a question being asked to Ancelotti because he's got the players? And do you think that will be deserved? Let's say that you do have a injury-free squad.
Yeah, I mean, the fans' opinion of Ancelotti, we all absolutely love him. Like, how he's here, we don't know. But if now that he's got his squad, if we can get another centre-back in who we've linked with a lad who was at Schalke last season, then the squad for the fans ideally is complete. We'd like a winger as well, but that's going into dreamland. So if that is Ancelotti's squad, with James, who's obviously an Ancelotti player, he would not be here if Ancelotti was not here. Alan, probably the same boat. Decore's been linked with us for a few years, but now Ancelotti's got him here. So if he gets the main issue was our midfield. So now that that's been sorted, I feel as if questions would be asked if we, but you can't. If we finish 8th, I hope 9th, 10th. I hope we don't panic and get rid of him because he's the best thing to happen to this football club in my lifetime. Probably the best thing to happen since Howard Kendall. So I really hope we don't panic. And because if it's not going to get better under Ancelotti, it's not going to get better under anyone.
Yeah, I mean, he's a proven winner. You see it with Tottenham and Mourinho as well, where he didn't have the best of results and fans were already turning against him. But I feel like football, the expectation of football has changed drastically, where you see people expecting results from minute one. Like these players are robots, like they don't have feelings, like they don't have to get settled into the club, like the manager don't have to get settled in. But with Ancelotti, I feel like you've seen it. I've heard his post-match conference after the West Brom game, and he said the following about Calvert-Lewin. He said how he wants to transform into a one-touch finisher. So you can see that he's already having an impact on these players, and you can see it because Calvert-Lewin has been scoring goals and all pretty much inside the 6-yard box. But one weakness that I saw in a West Brom game was Yerry Mina. I'm not too sure if it's only that game, but the first goal, he was just sitting back. He's not going at the Diangana. What is the one weakness that we can target that you would say? Is it Mina? Is it the midfield that you mentioned, or where should Palace target in this game?
I've got one obvious answer for that, and it's Jordan Pickford. So I'll go back to your Mina point. Mina is split amongst the fan base. Some really rate him, some think he's not the best centre-back I've ever seen. But Yerry Mina will play because we've only got 2 fit centre-backs at the minute. We've seen Mason Holgate out for a few months, Jared Bramthwaite out for 6 weeks, Lewis Gibson's just doing Reading on loan. Lucas Digne's been operating there, but he's going to be starting at left back. Mina, in my opinion, is good enough, and I agree. He backed off for that West Brom goal. But I again think that Diangana goal, despite being a good strike, I think Pickford should have had it. And I don't know if you've watched us against Fleetwood in the week. We won 5-2. We went to 2-1 and 3-2 because Pickford made 2 individual mistakes. At back end of last season, we got beat 3-1 by Bournemouth. 1 went through Pickford's hands. We got beat 3-0 at Wolves. 1 went through his hands. So he's becoming very close to becoming a liability. Very, very close to becoming a liability.
Yeah. So what happens with the Pickford situation then? I mean, have you got any other goalkeepers that can come in his place? Because I've heard about Pickford for a very long time now, where it's not working for him at Everton, but he always seems to start games. So what's going to happen with the Pickford situation, and how can we target him as well? Is it more of a mental thing, or is it just pressing him when he has the ball? What is it?
Well, the issue is our 2 other goalkeepers are Yar Virginia, a 20-year-old lad who's played 1 competitive game and had 1 shot against them for us. He went to Reading last season, didn't have the best time at Reading, got dropped, got sent back by January. But we've just gave him a new 4-year deal. And the other goalkeeper who I think is going to be the sub-keeper on Saturday is Jonas Lossell, who was at Huddersfield. He's never played for us, despite being here 2 years, not even played a cup game. Went on loan to Huddersfield in January. I'd personally just about stick with Pickford because of the other options we've got. We've been linked with Romero from United, who I think if he comes in, people say challenge Pickford. No, if he comes in, he'll be the number 1. And as far as Palace go, it sounds basic, but just shoot most of the time. If it's on target, it goes in. The mental thing is one of them where the fans more get in his head, so obviously that factor's gone. But if he makes a mistake early on, for example, drops a cross, puts a kick straight to a Palace man, his head seems to go for the whole game. So I'd just be putting as much pressure, especially from outside the box, on him from minute 1.
Yeah, I mean, we put crosses into the box against United. It worked out fine, and we took a couple of shots outside the box as well, even though they didn't go on target. Potentially, that's what we could be doing in this game. But before we talk about where the game can be won and lost, what have you made of Palace's start so far this season? We've got 2-2 as well. But of course, our manager is Roy Hodgson, different to Ancelotti, different style as well. What do you think of Palace under Hodgson?
Yeah, I touched onto this earlier with you. I'll admit that I naively put Palace 18th in my pre-season predictions. This was before the signing of Rodriguez, who, to be fair, hasn't even played yet. But that was based on your form after the lockdown last year. I think last season you only won the game at Bournemouth, I think, was it? And I thought Fulham and West Brom, I couldn't see another obvious candidate to struggle, so I went with Palace. But there's no way you'll finish, I think, in my opinion, you'll finish top 12, maybe even push on the top 10. The start's been great. I thought the Southampton game was going to be a tricky one. and you overcame that superbly. The lad in goal, the Spanish lad in goal, Guaita, what made a fantastic save at 1-0. And then you went to Old Trafford. I knew you 1-0 last year, so I thought there's no way they're going to win here twice in a row. I thought, still at 1-0, I thought, got United written all over this, but 2-1, I thought, yeah, they'll get another. But Palace just fight back to what you think. They were exceptional. And Wilfred Zaha was brilliant. But Ayew was fantastic. The young lad Mitchell looks like he's been in the first team 10 years. James McCarthy, a former Blue, was fantastic. So I have been surprised by Palace's start because I didn't. I'm sure even the most optimistic of Palace fans would have said 6 points from Southampton and Man United was a very, very far-fetched suggestion.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the Southampton game, I predicted a draw. I genuinely predicted a draw, and we got it. For the United game, I went for the same prediction because of how the draw worked against Southampton. We managed to get another win. But yeah, I didn't really expect this. But Roy Hodgson did change it about. The formation did change. He changed Wilfred Zaha's role. So that's all we wanted as Palace fans. And that's the reason why we struggled so badly last season, because when it wasn't working, he wasn't changing about. And I don't know why he was so stubborn, but thankfully he's managed to change his ways right now. But talking about where the game can be won and lost, personally, I feel like where Palace can win this game is on the counter-attack, because that's been our main strength in these last 2 games and has been a drastic change from what we saw last season. Where do you see it in Everton's perspective of the game being won for you guys and potentially lost? You mentioned Pickford. I guess that could be one area, but the defense, do you think the Palace could target with their counter-attack with Everton's defense?
Yeah, Keane and Mina will win absolutely Everton in the air all day, every day. But when it comes to pace, they're a bit sceptical. They're not the quickest. I wouldn't necessarily say Mina's slow, but he's not the quickest. Well, I'd like to think with us being the away side, we're not going to give Palace the freedom to counter-attack us, which especially it looks like we're going to go with a 3-man midfield again of Gomez, Decore, and Allen with Rodriguez out wide. So hopefully having that extra man in midfield will mean the counter-attack is very much limited. And as far as to where the game's going to be won for Everton and lost for Palace is just James Rodriguez. Give him the ball and he will give Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison chances. And at the minute, the 2 of them are not missing. The 2 of them are putting absolutely everything away. So literally, James in the middle. We need Allen to be on the top game, possessing those counter-attacks. Give it to James and he'll give you 2 chances a game.
He's absolutely brilliant. The thing with James Rodriguez is that Palace fans will see it. If you haven't watched the West Brom game, I will see what he done there. He doesn't run. He has no real sprints because he doesn't have to, because he just passes. He pings the ball to Richarlison. I'm saying this now. If we give James Rodriguez time on the ball, then it's game over. It's simply game over because he's going to find the passes. I think he's like the heart of the team, where if you stop James Rodriguez, you're talking about passes going to Richarlison, you're talking about passes going to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So hopefully Palace focus on that. But finally, what is your lineup prediction, and also what do you think the score will be?
So I think we're going to set up the same way as we have against West Brom and Tottenham. I think it will be Jordan Pickford in goal. I think club captain Coleman at right back and Lucas Digne at left back. We've got no other option to play Michael Keane and Yerry Mina at centre half. I think we're going to go with a midfield 3 of Gomez, Allen, and Decore. Maybe I'd be tempted to put in Sigurdsson or Bernard instead of Gomez, but I think don't change your winning formula. Yes, there's no need to. On the right, I think we'll go James, left for Richarlison, and up front Calvert-Lewin. So I think Bernard, Sigurdsson, Gomez is the only slight dilemma, but I think it'll probably be Gomez. And in score prediction, I'm going to go on back my side. I'm going to go 2-1 at Everton. But I would take, if we play well, I would take a point at Palace. We get to lose at Palace since just came back up, like I mentioned earlier, which hopefully won't come to an end. It's got to come to an end one day, but hopefully it doesn't this weekend. But I'd take an informed Palace side, full of confidence, just beat United in their own backyard. I'd take a draw, but I'm going to go 2-1 Everton.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but I'm going to keep it the same as I've been in this previous opposition preview episodes, where I'm keeping it 1-0. 1-0 is working for Palace right now. So if I predict 1-0 and we go and get another win, that'd be great. But overall, I'd be happy with a draw. Yeah, hopefully I'll be happy with a draw as well. So if we get a draw, then I wouldn't be too upset because I know the quality in this Everton side is going to be different, and I'm more scared than I was when we faced United. And I even said that before the United game that Everton is going to be a scary one. But leave down your comments down below. Let us know what you guys think with your score prediction and your overall thoughts of the game. Are you confident going against Everton? Do you think we can get a win? Leave down your comments down below. And Lewis, thank you for joining me. All the best for the game. And yeah, we'll see what happens.